Good afternoon, everyone. This is Maggie McKee. I'm an independent Nikken consultant from Vancouver, Canada, and I love this channel we have, the Royal Alliance channel, which gives you an opportunity to listen to a number of live calls every week about Nikken, the concept of Nikken, the technologies, the business, and once you're in the business, it gives you lots of training on how to attract customers and how to build the business. So my focus today is on the business. And I've been with Nikken for 21 years, so I have a lot of experience. I was a college professor with tenure before I joined Nikken, and I continued to do that part-time for 3 years. And so for the last 18 years, I have had the privilege of building my collaborative entrepreneurship with Nikken on my own time. I won't say it's full-time because I have a very active life, and Nikken is part of that for sure, and it really does. The philosophy is what underscores everything in my life. That's one of the reasons why I was attracted to it. But we're going to talk today about how this business is in the right place at the right time. That's an old cliche, but it really is, because there's so much need for what we have now, not just in the technologies, not just in the business, but in the whole concept of active wellness and also the concept of our philosophy. And that's really what keeps me here after all these years, is the philosophy that Nikken was founded on over 40 years ago. And I really resonated with this. I don't know if it's because I grew up on a farm where this is kind of how we lived our life. Everything was connected, and farmers worked together to create the best environment for everyone to do well. It wasn't a competitive environment. It was a very cooperative environment. And I love that. I went away from that concept because I bought into the deal that you need to go to school and get a good education, get a good job, and so on and so forth. And what happened when I did that is my body really started to suffer, and I wasn't happy. I don't know if you're like this, but sometimes you don't know you're unhappy until you get happy again. And so I went through all of these motions thinking this was the best thing to do. And I love teaching. It was a great profession for me to choose. However, I did not like the fact that I had no freedom, that I could only make a certain amount of money, that I had to report at a certain time, I had to follow a certain curriculum, and so on. It didn't give me the opportunity to really put the time and energy into my family, which is the number one priority for me on this wheel, and to give back to society. So going back to the first reason that I joined Nikken, I had 30 years of chronic pain. And I'm not the only one out there who's had that situation. I know that. I've talked to thousands of people who were introduced to Nikken because of the need that they had for the product. So I just had an intuitive sense that this is what was going to solve things for me. I had spent thousands of dollars and thousands of hours looking for relief. I had had surgery. That was not an option ever again. I had been prescribed medication, but I don't do medication, so I was just dealing with the chronic discomfort. So when Nikken came into my life and resolved that completely within 3 months, and it's never returned after all these years, I am so grateful that I feel a moral obligation to share this with as many people as I can all over the world. We're a global company, so I get the opportunity to talk about how Nikken can be a solution for so many people in whatever area they're most interested in. For some people, it isn't the body, it's they're looking for a great business. So we're going to focus on business today. And if you study business, the main thing to look for is there a need? Because if there's not a need for what you're offering, then you're not going to have a business. The bottom line is the world is even more stressed than it was when I started 21 years ago. There are just a myriad of things that put us in stress, and the list on this slide, which if you're on the phone you can't see, but it's just the reality. Financial worries, health concerns, workplace conflict, it goes on. And that has a huge toll on all of those 5 pillars, not just the body, but how we feel, how we think, and so on. So the financial need is so great in the world right now. I don't think it's ever been greater, and I don't think it's going to get less stressful for people financially, because the old systems that we've been operating under really do not work as well now as they did perhaps when they were introduced. So Nikken, even though it's a 42-year-old company, it brings in something that most people are looking for in a business. They want to have the opportunity to not have to commute. I live in a big city, and whenever I have to go out, when there's any traffic, I just shake my head. I can't believe people do that day after day after day. That is so stressful. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for us. And then to top it all off, wages have actually decreased because more and more people have had to take cuts in order to continue having jobs, and people have lost their jobs, and the cost of living has gone up, and so on. So there's a lot of stress on the financial pillar for people. And if you want to go back to school, or you have children going to school, I know that right now people are in the first week of going back to school here in Canada. For some people in the United States, that starts earlier, but those expenses for education are phenomenally a burden for most people. So there are lots of things stressing us. So what's the solution? Well, that's where we come in. Our job as entrepreneurs with Nikken and this collaborative network of global communities that are being introduced to Nikken is to help others understand what is active wellness. Basically, it's, be healthy by choice, not by chance. We're self-care advocates. Living in a Nikken wellness home like I do, if everybody lived in Nikken wellness home, I honestly believe that we would not have a crisis financially. We would not have a crisis in healthcare. I mean, we're fortunate in Canada because our healthcare is covered. It still sucks to hurt and have to need it. So, we're on a mission here, and it's really, that's what I love about this. Is one of the reasons why I left my tenured college position, was because I wanted to make a bigger difference. I wanted to be connected to like-minded people who had a vision for something beyond themselves that was making a difference in the world, one family at a time, one person at a time, and that is what this is about. So our job is very simple. We have conversations with people. We listen to people to discover if there's something that they are out of balance in, and that they are actually looking for a solution, because as you probably know, there are a lot of people out there that have issues, but they are not interested in a solution. Who knows why? That's not our job. Our job is to educate those who are ready and to support those people, whether they choose to become customers or whether they choose to join us on the Nikken team. So here's a very simple concept of how the business works. First of all, you join Nikken. Most people join for the products because, first of all, you want to have street cred. If you're going to be running a business, you want to know that you can trust the products, that they actually deliver. So most people come in the door of the customer, which is what I did. But very soon I saw that there was such a huge need. I just had a different set of eyes and a different set of ears. I saw people who really needed what we have. So that really motivated me to, become a business person with Nikken, to become a Nikken consultant, so that I could share this with other people. So that's step two. After you become a customer, then when you become a consultant, you get to share and promote these products and this business. And for me, the biggest thing is the cause, which is really, in a nutshell, humans being more. If everybody could access the tools to become more in all those 5 pillars of health, that is what's changing the world. Business is good business like this is changing the world. So we connect people, after our conversation with them, we connect people to the part of Nikken that they have the most interest in or the biggest need in. I know I have a lot of people on my team who needed the income. They also had to check out the products. They love the products, so what a great combination. And the really nice thing is I had someone looking at the business here yesterday, and he said, well, how much inventory would I have to have? And I said, none. You're obviously going to want the products for your own personal use, just like I have. He was here in my wellness home. All of these products I use, and then I can also demonstrate them to people like you when they come in. So I don't have inventory. Besides, it's a research and development company. If I had inventory, it would go out of stock in terms of what we offer, because Nikken keeps improving the products and adding new products. So they ship directly to the customer, so there's none of the headaches of a traditional business. We don't have to chase people, because people purchase the product up front. Nikken ships it to them. We can help them track it. They get their own tracking number. We can certainly go in our back office and make sure it gets there and answer any questions that they have. And then Nikken on the 15th of every month says thank you to us in the form of a check, which I'm going to cover on the next slide after this one, where all that money comes from. Well, here's just a summary of the simple business plan. Our job is to share, our job is to collaborate and teach 3 people to reach 3 people. And we're going to see on the slide after this too how that works out in terms of income, in terms of money. But first of all, you upgrade to become a consultant for $99. That gives you a completely hosted website and all the back office tools for a whole year. If you choose to renew, it's $79. So it's really the most amazing low-cost business. What we then teach people is to gather customers so that you can create at least $500, 500 points of monthly retail sales. Now, it's probably going to take more than a few customers to do that because not everybody orders every month. But if you had 5 to 10 really good customers, if they were on what we call the auto ship program, it's easy to create that 500 points of monthly retail sales. That's your Nikken business unit. You can stop there in terms of customers, or you can keep building. I encourage people to keep adding customers, which I've done over the years. Then out of those customers, you're probably going to have some people who say, like I did, I want to help other people. So that's where you usually find your first and your next business partner. And you can build as big a business team as you want, and the bigger the network, the bigger the check. So it's up to you as to how you build this. We're just showing you the very simple bones of this so that you know it's an easy to duplicate system that creates a solid long-term income that is very meaningful. So this slide, which you can't see if you're on the phone, just looks at how many entrepreneurs you would need on your team to reach the ranks, the leadership ranks in Nikken, and what your solid monthly income would be based on that 500 points in sales every month in each of these entrepreneurial businesses. So once you teach 3 to reach 3, if you do the math, because it's exponential, you have a team of 39 entrepreneurs who are doing what you do. They're each creating those 500 points of volume in their business every month. Just by the nature of that, you reach the first leadership rank called silver, and your income is approximately $1,300 US a month. Okay, that's just on these sales, your own personal sales and those of your team. So $1,300 a month for a lot of people, that takes the pressure off. That's a car payment. That's part of a mortgage payment. That's part of a college payment, whatever it is that you need that extra income for. And that's where a lot of people are happy to stay, and that's super, that's wonderful if that's what they want. Sometimes, though, the business, because it's organic, can get carried away, and if those 39 people do the same thing, your income is going to grow, and you're naturally going to reach the next rank, which is gold, and your income goes up to around $2,400-2,500 US a month. And again, it's repeated income because people are doing those 500 points every month. Next level is platinum. Your income goes up to around $7,000 with this same model, and diamond, $21,000 and beyond. I mean, these are just very bare bones, and there's no perfect system. Not everybody has that same structure where 39 people are actually doing that. So but you can always add to that. You can always add more entrepreneurs and build the business as big as you want. There are so many ways that Nikken rewards us. First is the retail profit. So because you become your own customer first of all, and you get the retail profit from your own orders, and then each person, if you have those 500 points every month, your retail profit would be $125 every month just on those sales. So that's kind of nice. That's an extra little bit of money for this and that. And then beyond that, there's so many other things. There are cash bonuses for meeting certain requirements like the Entrepreneurs Club. And this month there's a big emphasis on building the business, and you could make an extra $2,500 income on top of everything else. There are reward points, because every time you reach those 500 points, Nikken gives you 25 reward points. So if you've got $1,500 in there, you're going to get 75 reward points, and so on. That's points or dollars that you can actually spend in the Nikken store to get product that you can use for yourself, give as gifts, give as leverage in the business, whatever you choose. So that's an extra stream of income in a sense. And then once you get to the gold level, the lifestyle bonus kicks in, and that's great because that's an additional sum of money that comes in every month based on your volume that you can use for whatever you want. I'm on my 5th Nikken car. And I don't have to use it for a car now. We used to. That was the only option years ago. But now I can use it for the vacation I'm going on to France next month, whatever I decide. And so there's just so much meaningful income here. The real money is in the leadership bonuses. On that previous slide when I was showing you the people getting to silver and gold and so on, those are your leaders. So the bigger your group, the bigger your check. So Nikken really rewards us for developing leaders. We're going to have tons of customers. and we're going to have a few leaders who do the same as we do, and that's going to expand your business. There are also lots of other incentives. Many of us are going to San Antonio in October, and if you've completed this one club that we've had all year, Nikken pays for your tuition for that weekend training, which is wonderful. And I've had full, top class trips to Japan and Mexico and other places for reaching other goals. So if you just do what is expected in terms of building the business, you can have so many different parts of income that come to you, and overall that adds up to a really nice sum. And your job as a leader is to develop yourself, because we have lots of personal development training, including a program called Humans Being More, and then help your team as well. I'm being mentored by a Royal Diamond, and Dee is on that same mentorship team. And then I mentor a group of people as well. So I'm a mentee and a mentor. I'm a coach. We have lots of meetings and events. I have events in my home here. We're having a bigger event in Vancouver in November after the convention in San Antonio. Tons of tools and trainings. And the nice thing is now we don't have to pay for those. They're basically all free online. So there's lots of ways to get the education. I do buy some of the great books like GoPro and things like that. But really the cost, the overhead is so minimal. Our websites are covered, and we have tons of webinars like this one that help you to build your business. So it's basically a progression. You discover it yourself, use the products, you get your active wellness lifestyle going, you live that, so it becomes, you get the benefits. And then if you decide to become an entrepreneur, you share it. And you can become a part-time entrepreneur like I did initially. And then, once my income from Nikken exceeded my full-time college professor income for, I think it was 6 months or whatever, I decided to drop that and do this full-time because it's way more fun, and the freedom that I have to spend time with my family, to give back to the community, and to just have the best balanced lifestyle is just so wonderful. So that's, I think, what people are looking for, more than just a business that's a transactional business where somebody walks into your retail store and you've got all this overhead and all these employees and all this stress. They buy a product and you may never see that person. You don't have any interaction with them, and that product may help them feel better for a minute, but it's not like our products that actually change lives. For me to get rid of those 30 years of chronic pain and then help thousands of people to do the same, and it's not always the same issue, but I have a solution that is so transformational for people, and that really feeds my soul. I think people are looking for business with soul nowadays, and we've got it. It's really, I think, the best kid on the block. And just going to stop this share here, and any questions that you have we can answer. And first of all, thank you all for being on the call. Anybody have any questions or comments before we close it? Going once, going twice, none. So I'm going to stop the recording and thank everybody.